So before I put head to pillow, I want to emphasize, some of you may be wondering, why do you bring law enforcement after reading a book by Jason Reynolds? Well, this is my third time reading it with a group of students, and this is my second time bringing law enforcement. First time I did it was with who are my now rising ninth graders. They were seventh graders at the time, and they just kept saying how the police aren't doing their jobs. Police don't know what they're doing. They just didn't trust. So we brought in our SRO, who they had a relationship with. Pause for a second. Stop knocking SROs in schools. Look at the relationship they have with those students before you're quick to say, take them out of schools. Now, I have seen and heard, well, I haven't seen it, I've heard about how there was a very contentious relationship with the SROs or the officers in schools. I remember there was a school district in California on this documentary. When I find the name of it, I will put it up here so y'all can watch it. They asked for theirs to be taken out of their schools because they harassed the students. They didn't have a good relationship. I have not witnessed that in Richland too. I have not witnessed that when I worked in Charlotte Met. Granted, I was only at one school, and I was at two schools. They always had a good relate for the most part. I take that back. There was some they didn't understand, but every now and again we got one. The last two I've encountered. Now, Ridgeview, I didn't really know them like that, but I can definitely say at Ridgeview, at Longleaf Middle, Deputy McClure had a great relationship, and I want to say the person before her had a good relationship with our kids. So, let me go back to my point. So, one of the main rules in Jason Reynolds' book is don't snitch. You don't, and what they mean by don't snitch, you don't talk to the police. You do rule number 3, which is take revenge into your own hands, which creates a cycle of violence. So as a result, bringing the police in helps them see, number 1, police are human too. Number 2, we don't have enough resources. So as Chief Holbrook shared, we would love to have more visits with the community, but we find ourselves answering more calls, okay? Then he mentioned at one point what used to be the job of a social worker, cops are called in. And really it should be a social worker or a mental health specialist who are dealing with some of these calls that they have to service. So it's a matter of outsourcing. Like he mentioned defunding the police. He says what we need to do is outsource some of these things you're expecting cops to do, and really we should be hiring other professionals to handle these matters, not cops, which I thought was profounding for me. But the point I'm trying to make is we do have some cops who don't do what they're supposed to be doing, but we also have cops who are doing what they're supposed to be doing. And it's very imperative, if as much as possible, they make their presence known and build a relationship with our communities so there isn't that fear there. Because I'm noticing, and I might be wrong, the kids I work with this summer, it was a small group, only worked 3 weeks. A lot of them, what their experiences was through social media, not their real life experience. So again, that's how you break down the barrier. That's how you break down the walls. You got to go in the communities and build relationships with the students and build a community. Maybe it's just once a month you have a block party, something.